if it is hard for you to trust these words like $50 XRP in 24 hours or $10,000 XRP in 2 years, I will help you to digest some of these information and shows why this will be happening or this is happening. Maybe retail investors are not understanding that. Why? Because retail investors are missing something, which is the actual disruption happening in the existing financial side. But the framework is being recreated and the banks are restructuring. Now, this article kind of shows that we are about to see massive uptake in XRP price from September 1st. And the reason for that is being highlighted as the increase in liquidity in the XRP pool from September 1st. So as a daily 5 trillion volume from SWIFT move into XRP and ILP, it can increase in price. That's what the article argues. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. If you saw value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. If you would like to extend your support for the channel, you can use that Patreon, PayPal, or the XRP address in the description. So let's continue. So this article kind of focus us into this area where the price is going towards $10,000 in 2 years or $50 in 24 hours. Now I agree. Some of this information presented here are facts, which we really have to understand in the side of the fundamentals. Say for XRP being one of the crypto, or the least XRP being the crypto which others don't actually have the standard, right? ISO 20022, which is the international money standard, right? When you are looking at the interoperability, and that is when we are connecting it with the interledger. And this philosophy of metric side shows you that interledger is the new world bank. Now that is back in 2018. Now, if you haven't actually adjusted to that in your mind, you can visit Bank of England website. The central bank, they in UK is highlighting this. Ripple exploring the synchronized settlement payments using what? Interledger protocol. So that goes back into this one. Interledger is being the new world bank. Now, in that article, when you actually go to the bottom, what are they talking about? This is where the crypto asset XRP by Ripple comes into play. XRP will be capable of providing cross-border payment service measured in seconds at only a fraction of a cent. Now, why is that so important? If you actually focus here on SWIFT transaction, you would understand that 67% is charged one side, but in some markets, the fee is like 30%. Now look at the adoption of Ripple. In Asia, it's skyrocketing. Why? Because these are the markets where you had to pay like 10, 20, 30% in fee to remit. Just to remit, you have to pay, say for example, you got your salary and you're supporting your family. Why would you pay 30% and pay it via a bank? And in the advanced economy, it's 7%. So it's kind of, it never makes sense in that aspect. So when we get back into this article, what reserve currencies have been doing for centuries, XRP will do at thousands of times efficiency. Now XRP has that efficiency. We all understand that online it can process 1,500 transactions per second, and comparing or considering the offline transactions as well, it processes 65,000 transactions per second. You can go into the Ripple website and validate what the statement I just made here. Now, considering that ledgers are the new banks, the interledger protocol of Ripple should create a lot of excitement as one of the bridge function which connects all other ledgers and allows for value to move around the world. Now that is what interledger protocol is allowing you to do, right? Connect between different ledgers using XRP as a bridge currency. Now, as such, the interledger is the new version of reserve currency in the same manner that the ledgers are the new banks. If you actually understand this from Bank of England and the statement from Bank of England governor previously that we need a new reserve, and that's from England, right? If you look at US, and what you heard from Judy Shelton was we need a different framework for money in the digital era, a gold standard in the cryptocurrency way. So this can be, or this will be, the potential standard. And recently you also heard from Chris Larsen, ISO 20022 implementation and the interoperability standard is making ILP, the IntelliLedger protocol, the standard soon. So when ILP is becoming the standard, it is being connected to what? Moving between ledgers. So this fee will not be there at that time. The fee would only be in cents, right? When you're processing a payment. And thus the banks are being ripped from what business it is doing. And then getting back into this article, many of the area which this article takes us through was really informative. Say it shows us what are the background and how we should be looking at it, like the Nizara, Jisara, other stuffs and all. But the area where it kind of pushes towards a 10,000 XRP, $10,000 per XRP in 2 years or $50 per XRP in 24 hours. For me personally, it looks like a bit far-fetched, even though they are arguing that the 5 trillion processed by Swift would be going through XRP network or via XRP, touching XRP through IntelliLedger protocol from September 1st. We'll have to wait and see. For me, at least for me, it looks far-fetched. Because if you are to push that much of liquidity or take out that much of liquidity from one system entirely and put it into another one, that will make problem for both of the systems. Instead, if you are taking a little bit from one and pushing into another, it would work. So even if that 5 trillion from Swift is going to be taken out and put into via IntelliLedger protocol, I think it can happen with Swift being live and ILP being live in parallel. So if that is happening, both of the system won't be disrupted, there won't be any issues. But by the time you take out the 5 trillion from one and to put in the new system, it would take at least 1 to 3 months, a minimum, if they are doing that fast enough. But without that proper regulatory clarity, it may even take 12, 15, 18 months. We don't know. But when we are looking at liquidity issue, which is being highlighted by Ripple executive itself, and understanding that on-demand liquidity is getting more traction than RippleNet. Previously, RippleNet had announced around 350 partnerships, right? So if XRP and on-demand liquidity is getting more attention, that means we are going to have massive inflow of institutions inside this. Why? Because they all understand this particular asset, XRP, has the ability to do that. So if that's the case, then what will happen to these kind of predictions, which shows just huge kind of difference from what we have now. Now, yes, except these price predictions in this article, if you look at other infos like Ripple's own digital wallet called Zum, or showing the standard here and the rest, it looks a bit informational. As you go through the entire article, you get a lot of information like XRP is a sustainable currency, a green alternative to Bitcoin. Now we all understand that is true, and as you move through that, you get a lot more. Now, when you also point towards like Ripple will get to 10k per coin when the daily transaction reach 1 trillion, that is all the money in the world once it is adopted by the global banking system. Now all the money in the world is something directly from Spring executive, right? So it's related to Ripple itself. So this particular article, in my opinion, is taking facts from majority of the article and trying to put that into perspective for what in case of price prediction. So if it can be like one way or the other, at the bottom here it looks like the minimum projection is that it will reach $1.6 by the end of the year, 10k in 5 to 10 years or sooner. Now okay, that can be laid into perspective, meaning $1.6 by the end of 2020 and 10k in 5 to 10 years. If you take 10 year or 20 year, then 10 to 20 years should be making some sense. But still 10k, until we get that all the money in the world processing through IntelliLedger protocol, we don't know. But still, as per Ripple executive, if quantum computing is to come alive in 10 to 15 years, the adoption rate for this particular technology would be 8 to 15 years. That should be the case. And in that case, yeah, there is a possibility that the price may fluctuate massively. And what we saw last time was retail FOMO, right? And this time it could be, or it will be, even more than that. Now we have to look at the charts, different charts, and analyze it on a different perspective and see what has changed from yesterday. So if we are looking at the price, we can understand that the price just broke to the upside. We talked in yesterday night's video that if the price is breaking to the upside, it kind of gives you the confirmation that we are moving back into this support resistance zone, which is the bottom of here and the top around 0.29. Nearby that, we are now getting close towards the resistance level of that support resistance zone. So if we manage to break above that, now that will be with a bit of consolidation, because on a daily you can see the 20-day moving average plotted in yellow is above that. So the possibility is still there that the price can take a bit of time to break to the upside. Now that's the case when it is breaking to the upside there. If you move on to a different time frame, which is the 12-hour chart, and look at the RSI, here you can see that the RSI is moving above 50, which is a bit positive. Then the MACD already crossed, and the volume side turning to the upside. If you look at that happened previously back here when the MACD was crossing to the upside, and you were getting that momentum here. And what happened from that level to the top? The price went around 70% to the upside. Now again you are getting that here. What you have to look at is this: is it making a bit of mess and making a false signal? Now as you already got that one candle here, if you're getting two candle more, you can make that like as a confirmation that it has crossed to the upside. Now on 12 hour, that is actually a positive sign. If you zoom out, step back and look at it on a weekly to understand the trend between the last cycle, current cycle, what are the patterns? If you look at RSI, you can clearly find patterns which are repeating itself. If you look at this particular one, this was the top. Then if you what you can actually connect with is like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here, right? So that's kind of a valid trend line. And similarly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so another valid trend line. Now if you look at the similarities in between them, what you can see is one time it broke to the upside. Here also we did that. Now next time it tried, it failed, tried, it failed. Third time it went to the upside, it broke above, but it came back below with the price coming to the bottom. If you look at that, again we went to the upside and came back down, and the price came to the downside, making a new low there. So that kind of gives you an idea that it has a lot in common. Then again it tried that area, went below and broke to the upside. It tried that area, went below and broke to the upside. That's a lot in common. But what we are not seeing yet is that price movement to the upside in terms of percentage gain, right? We saw a bit of push, but that doesn't actually create that momentum here. Now if you look here at that time, previously it got that cross from the 20 and 50 in a weekly. Now we are about to get that in a weekly once we get the next weekly candle or the next one. If we have a proper massive push to the upside this week, then yeah, we would be getting that cross. Otherwise we will have to wait for a couple of weeks to get that weekly cross for a 20 to 50 day in weekly. So once we are getting that, that's going to be clear. Now zooming in and to understand what's happening as of now on a 4-hour chart, we see this. Now we just got a bit of a bullish momentum, a green shaped candle which is showing that there is buyers still there, and then consolidating a bit because we have the RSI above us, the 200-day moving average of 4-hour chart in above us. So now we have the 20 and 50 acting as a support, but still the 200-day moving average acting as a resistance. So if you try to plot a trend line showing how the price is moving from here, you kind of get something like this. So that means we also being resisted by the trend line of here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that also makes it kind of a possible trend line which is emerging in that particular manner. If you look at this as a channel, you can also see that yes, possibly it is making a support resistance in this manner and creating it as a channel. So if we are to be rejected from there, it's not good for traders, but as an investor you can look at retesting this particular area which is 0.25 and buying chance. But if we are to kind of do opposite to that, break to the upside and give a consolidation and then push to the upside, that's gonna be cool. Like that should be the buy signal for me. And then when we are looking back at the fundamental side, this is clear, right? Institutional interest in crypto is increasing despite the world going in chaos, right? When we are looking at the entire economy, we understand that the interest in investments and others are actually going down. Yeah, even though the stocks are going up just because of the printing, money printing, right? But looking at common man retail investors, what they are doing is trying to accumulate gold, silver, and some like us into crypto as well, right? So when we look at articles like this, say XRP Labs founder talks about plans for XRP LEDGER upgrade, it is about to change, meaning they are increasing its security, right? Now, if you still remember that triangle which I showed you with 3 points, one is security, another one is governance, another one is scalability. So now you have the scalability and you're trying to increase the security to a next level, which XRP already have compared to others. Like we just saw ETC, Ethereum Classic, another 51% hack, kind of no one goes to proof of work in that manner. And then we come to understand that institutional crypto interest has not been affected. Why? Because they all see there is interest in investment when the economy is going to the downside, meaning now this market for cryptocurrency is bottoming out. When you look at a weekly chart, you clearly understand that when you measure the all-time high and the current price level, that kind of shows for smart money a buying opportunity. When you're making, now if you're looking at this on a weekly, you can understand this was a lower low here and a kind of a similar higher high here, a higher high and lower low, which kind of gives you a mixed signal here, and then it went up, created a higher low but not a higher high. So that's again something changing there, and then it came to the similar high here, not giving yet a clear symbol, but looking at this you can understand it's again giving you a higher high and higher low compared to this particular trend line. Now if we are to move to the upside here, that kind of validates that we are entering or we have already entered into the new market cycle. And when the price fluctuation is entering into a new market cycle, we should be looking at the fundamentals as well, right? The fundamentals are actually kicking up. If you look just at US, what you really can understand here is, say this article, I've already opened that up here, so I'll just close this one and then jump back into this one. So what we are looking at here is United States is going into hyperinflation. This chart just shows you how much it's being printed and how the economy is being worsened. In 2020 you can see that fluctuation to the upside, like skyrocketing. Whew. That's too much for an economy. Now, if you go through this article in general perspective to understand the economy, you can understand we get 60%, which is higher than 40% of hyperinflationary threshold. So that shows us we are entering into an era where your fiat currencies won't be having that purchase value of purchase, right? That power of your money is going to be kicked off. Now, that's not in one aspect for the US or just one geographical region. If you look at this, South Africa says it has no extra money available for next 3 years. Now, that being said, understand institutions are entering where? Instead of going into government bonds and other stuffs, they're going into crypto. Whereas nations itself are going, bankrupt kind of stuff. Now, when we say we are seeing a change in Asia, you have to also understand in the education side. Elite US schools are falling out of favor with Asian students. We spoke to people in China, Japan, Vietnam, and elsewhere, and we are seeing the same thing, right? So if you look at that, I've been an international student, say, but not in US, but in UK. If you look, they say, yeah, equality for everyone. But personally, no, I paid double tuition fee just because I was an international student. If you look at the class, it was mixed. Yeah, you had domestic student. Yeah, you had international student. Everyone getting the same content from the same lecturer at the same time, and we had to pay double. That doesn't make any sense, and automatically we are going there because you saw value in their universities, the certificate which you are going to get after graduation. But now anyway you are going to get online education even if you are going to stay there, so it only gives you like part-time education and those kind of stuff. So now the value is going down. At the same time, if you are looking at these advanced countries, now if you're from there, don't get offended, you are seeing a lot of riots. At least in Asia, you are not seeing that. Now, yeah, you can compare with killing of that, killing of this, murder rate, blah, blah, blah. But we are not seeing these kind of major riots going out on shops, breaking out of them. That's not the positive stuff we are looking at. So, Ripple, the company, is of course focusing on Asia, and they have, created their own network framework in Asia. They are expanding. When you are seeing disruption in the West and China, being in Asia, rolling out its digital yuan, and Forbes shows it, the digital yuan would be one of the most aggressive consolidations of economic power. How will USA respond to this? They will have to come up with a digital dollar, and in that aspect, we should look back to this particular article. It shows LEDGER is the new world bank. Guys, hope you received value for your time, and if you did, please do hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. If you would like to support the channel and the research exerted here, please do use that Patreon or PayPal link in the description below. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.